Hello, everyone. You know, you might be crazy if you watch this channel. But then again. So anyways, I'm just about to pull into downtown Ottawa. And I'm right along the LRT path. And I guess this video is, the last one was just as much a rant. It's 20 minutes long. That was a rant. This one's a rant too, really. And it's just like the perpetual motion that I feel like we must be stuck living in our Western society. You know, like, and it only tells me that the people that have really done the math, if they literally thought of everything, you know, that what goes in and what goes out, input, output wise, energy wise, cost effectiveness wise, like there's a boondoggle right there. It was only supposed to cost us so much money, they said. And then, how much did that cost us? And then it's not even superior quality to whatever was being made, probably 100 years ago. I don't know, how could we really compare that? But, you know, maybe number of train uses to number of down lines in a year and, you know, canceled trips and whatnot. But were they keeping track of that stuff that well back then too? I don't know. But anyways, it all sort of starts with just a pair of cycling bib shorts I own. And I paid the most I've ever paid for a pair of cycling bib shorts. Like, I think they were close to $180. And can you imagine that? People spending $180 on a pair of shorts that isn't even a fucking bicycle yet. But they're for bicycling. Like, you know, but you could go to Canadian Tire probably and still pick up a bicycle for $180. And that thing's made of steel. It has gizmos and gadgets on it. Man, it does, like, for a bicycle, it actually probably does a lot of things for a bicycle. It's not just two wheels, a chain, and two sprockets. You know, and pedals, whatever. It's actually got gears on it. It's got, like, brakes on it that work probably way better than anything the boys in the Tour de France were racing on, like, even just 50 years ago. And now it's 2025. So in 1975, whatever brakes you have on a Canadian Tire bike, they're probably as good as the brakes that you had on a pro racer's bike in 1975. What was the whole point of that? Yeah, but for whatever reason in our Western society, I'm starting to recognize more, because I'm a person who tends to buy the better product. I don't buy the best. I certainly can't afford that. But if there's something I want, and if it means I only have to wait a year to maybe have the best version of it, like that sort of mentality, that's basically what I have done. And that strategy, I'm realizing, isn't quite working very well. Like literally all of my things, much of it that I bought about 10 years ago, are literally all just wearing down or breaking apart. Some of it I don't care. I'm not gonna shake a stick at, because I do use the things I spend my money on quite well. Like my computers are well over 10 years old. And actually they were not the greatest quality for their era neither, but for the money, I'm definitely getting my bang for the buck for them. But like things that I basically have left, I've barely used, like those bib shorts for one. Another one, tires, bike tires. Yeah, the bike that I barely ride. I'm not riding it today. I'm riding my steel deal here. It has like $100 each tires on. They're Grand Prix 4000 S's, and they're cracked, and they're like coming apart. All the glue's undoing itself from the tire, and the only thing that's really holding the tire together is all the weaving inside, all the threading and whatever, you know. Now, was that inevitable for that to happen anyways? Just that type of material, it's exposed to rays or air, off-gassing, whatever, for so long, it's gonna just do that? Or is it because like that's the material they chose to use, and then it does that? But it's weird. It's like I used to wear through tires, like down to the threads, because I was riding my bike so much. And I'd go through like two pairs of tires a year, like decent brand name tires. And you know, those ones I'm sure I could probably get away with putting another season on, but they look like they're done. They're freaky. Like nobody in their right mind should be riding on them, except for me, who kind of has a mind for how things are constructed, and I've looked at it quite a bit, and I've assessed and reassessed, and and I've decided it's just basically not that much danger there. It just doesn't look pretty. Like any ordinary person wanting to ride a bike or whatever, if they were to see those tires, they'd be like, I'm not going out on that, no way. And I wouldn't blame them for it. But it's like, the point is a lot of other stuff I own, from like when I was born, stereo systems, stereos, speakers. The only time speakers should ever die is if somebody played them too loud and then they blew them up that way. Like they put some really crappy music through them and just roasted the tweeters. And
we find that
my boat, I'd love to replace my boat with something newer potentially. I'm never going to do that. I'm probably never going to be able to afford to. But I mean, if I could, what would I replace it with? Even if I had the money. And trust me, I've looked around. What would you buy today that's built in the 21st century that it would be just as good as the quality of what it was back in the early 80s, late 70s? I mean, that's like a material recreational good, I guess. Like, to me, what it is they're going to keep finding ways to reduce the quality, the long-lastingness of all these products, but still play up the exclusivity of that product, the brand name and whatnot. Like, but then it's all just gonna come apart, and then you'll go back to riding in the same clothes, cycling kit that you bought 10 years ago as opposed to 5 years ago, because that's literally how old those shorts are. And And I've only rode with them on certain occasions. You know, I'm very picky about which outfit I'm going to pick for the type of day that I'm going out on. Yeah, those particular shorts, while they are super comfortable, I always save them for if I knew I was going to do a big smasher of a ride, and also which jersey I'd want to wear on that ride, because they're green and I am kind of conscientious about making myself blend in the background of wherever I'm biking a bit too much. But yeah, you know, and that's all just for people that keep having jobs, maybe, right? But then it's all made in China anyway. So you know what, guys? Like, manufacturers, all you North American and European manufacturers that are having stuff made in China, or brand names having stuff made in China, what's the point? You're charging so much for like a supposedly premium product anyways. That's literally how it seems like you're trying to spin it to us. And then you know, they're getting paid how much to make those there? Why don't you just pay somebody double here, put the extra on that pair here, and make sure it's quality made, and also like give them a good return policy if it's not, because that's garbage. If you're buying a premium brand name product, I'm not going to say the brand name of it, but it's up there. If you're buying that, then you know that thing should still be hanging in your closet, barring any wipeouts or whatever, and the pavement on it, or like so many days in the sun kind of thing. You know, like I guarantee I did not put any more than like 40 or 50 hours of riding on those. That's like 40 or 50 hours. It's like 25 rides, 2 hours each, across like maybe 5 years. So that's nuts. I'm not saying that's all the riding I've done. That's probably as much riding as I've done with those particular shorts, because I know I've wore all different kinds of outfits other times in between, and not always cycling kits every time I'm out riding and whatever too. So you know, that's, I don't know. I have a number of other examples I just see, like with cars and whatever too. But anyways, I think it's just it's destroying our quality of life. Like that's a small thing. That's a first world problem, what I'm sort of talking about between me and my bib shorts and whatever. But I think overall it does have an effect on like literally everything and everybody else. Because it's a product that's being developed and done, constructed, designed, whatever, without passion, if it's failing like that. And then people are willing to pay that, and then it's like, you know, you're willing to go the extra mile to buy a better product, and what does it get you in the end? There we go.